Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Lego Harry Potter years 5 through 7. Let's continue the story. It is kind of a shame that there really isn't a game called just Harry Potter. And I guess maybe that would fix a lot of issues too if WB Games could give one of their divisions that could make a good game. If they have a division that can make a good game, that's a cruel thing to say because TT Traveler's Tales games here have made good Lego games. So under that brand, there have been a lot of really good Lego games. So I don't want to be that cruel, but if they made just a Harry Potter story that wasn't Lego-fied, they could potentially work on the concept, make a good game, and then they could come back and take what they had learned from that and remaster this, remaster the Lego versions, which they are coming out with a remaster of the versions, but remaster is the wrong phrase. I'm using the wrong phrase here. They don't need to remaster, they need to remake. They need different levels, they need longer levels. They need to make better decisions about how much of the story is actually told in gameplay and how much of the story is told in cutscenes, because there's a lot of stuff here that's told in cutscenes. So you can't even look up here, but these teachers are firing their spells, I believe, to put up a shield around Hogwarts, which I guess means they didn't evacuate Hogwarts, which I guess means also that there was some other reason why the kids were living in the secret room in hammocks instead of just living in their dorms. I guess maybe they had escaped from the bad guys and they were in hiding. Where are these flowers? Here they are. Wow. So we're not in the level yet. We're doing an open world instance again. So they start shooting through the shield, or they're either shooting through a shield that was already there, or they're creating a shield that was already there. But if they were creating a shield that was already there, then how did the bad guys get in? Yeah, they're creating the shield, which kind of doesn't make sense because wasn't it in the wasn't it in the Half-Blood Prince that they were already strictly regulating things coming in and out of Hogwarts? Were they not strict enough, I guess? That they needed a full shield? And see, who is this character? Is this the... I don't know. Why was he looking at Luna Lovegood? I have no idea what the conversation there is. Apparently she's telling him she knows some ghosts are, and the ghosts might be able to help him figure out what the final objects are to defeat. Let's see. So we have a helpful picture here telling us how to match this. So a sun, a cloud, and a bird. There we go. See, that was a decent little puzzle that we never saw before. We saw some picture matching things, but it didn't seem like there was an actual possibility that you could have made a mistake on those. Dark magic doesn't work here, so let's go ahead and see if... Put out this fire, see what happens. There we go. Got some invisible burdens from that. that makes a hammer and a chisel. A giant Lego hammer and chisel. What's interesting about that is it's not, at least at this graphics level, it don't really look like the right sized Legos or Legos at all. It looks kind of cheaty, like they've made it sort of look like Legos, but not really. Now, I have a silver thing, which I believe this is called Reducto, can blow up. Maybe it's not Reducto. Now, I would need Ron for that, and he's not here, so that's a free play thing. I would need somebody. Maybe I can water this, and will this get rid of these? Nope. Nothing there. And here we have the house crests again, making them, just doing a little bit of a reminder. That goes back to something that's more of an issue in years 1 through 4, but I mean, it's still kind of an issue here. When Dumbledore is in charge, for the first 4 years, this entire school is totally designed around dividing and conquering these students. To use probably the wrong phrase. Definitely dividing the students. At the very beginning, you're at the Sorting Hat. You're given this arbitrary assignment to be part of one of 4 groups, and then that turns into this weird inter-conflicts for no reason. And anytime any student from one of those groups does something wrong, points are deducted. Oops. What's that? Green, red, blue, yellow. Green, red, blue, yellow. It's a weird way to run a school. It's a very, very weird way to run a school. Let's see, I need to run back and get some goggles again. I lost them somehow, I don't know how. Why you lose these spectacles? Spectre specs? I don't know. But you certainly seem to do that. And so, after all that time, all this conflict, everything, everybody is now just like really united under the threat of Voldemort, except for like the one kid that is actually working for Voldemort. It might even make more sense if more kids were working for Voldemort if you're going to go down that way. But, or if there was some espionage going on, so some kids pretend to work with Voldemort and then are actually smuggling information. The Dumbledore's army is the turn of events that starts that. So that maybe it is that they all are united past the death of Dumbledore, but frankly they didn't need to be divided anyways. And see, it feels like that is more of a just nostalgia thing that may actually happen in British schools, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe that's really how it happens now. Maybe it was how it happened in the past. The UK these days is a pretty diverse group of people, and the last thing I think the schools would encourage is for them to be even more diverse and at each other's throats. I don't think many schools are going to do that. Hey, there's a Moonwalker Michael Jackson reference. So I wonder if that reference was there before or after he passed away. I'd have to think about the timeline. Michael Jackson's once made a video game, and in the credits, it only credits him for the entire video game. He sold his license for the video game, and then obviously a video game company made it, and it just says, Michael Jackson did it all. Talk about an ego. I mean, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but talk about an ego. And I'm not even really that concerned about credits in video games. I think everybody who worked on the game should get their due, but I also have to balance that on my time when I watch like 20-minute credit sequences go by. So apparently the ghost likes Luna, so she can help her. So she knows where the item that they need is, and then he kisses the ghost, which puts that as number 2 ghost that he's been romantic to. Because Moaning Myrtle too was hot on him. Everybody loves Harry Potter. So here's the Quidditch area. Surprising. I am very surprised about this. That this is like a broken down version of the Quidditch place. I thought we might see more of the Quidditch stuff happen. Like, that they'd sneak that in at some point, but they didn't, surprisingly. And these are the 2 that had already decided to quit school, so did they go back to school? Or are they just here to help out? A lot of the people study abroad. We also need to ask the question, where's the other 2 schools? Where are all the adults? Where is the Ministry of Magic? Why is all of this happening? What are they doing? If Voldemort is here, he is the main threat, the main fight. What in the world could possibly be happening everywhere else that no backup is happening? It seems like the Ministry of Magic is both the government and the police force. I would even take the ineffective security guards showing up to help. Where are the parents of these students? They're just like hiding for their lives. Is there some elementary school for wizards happening too that's getting attacked? I don't know about that one. I think the implication, at least, is that there's that their magical powers don't start until puberty. So maybe all the younger kids just get sent to the Muggle preschools. But see, that wouldn't make much sense, and I don't think the kind of racist, purebred wizards would be cool with that. There is an element of racism there that doesn't get touched upon very much. So, are they planting explosive charges? Is that what they're doing? Or are they planting lights? If there's just a little talking here, a little dialogue to tell me what I'm doing right now. For all I know, I'm committing a terrorist act. Destroying the building just for fun. This is why the non-talking doesn't work. It kind of worked in Star Wars, Lego Star Wars Complete Collection, the series. that did episode 1 through 6, but I think it only worked in Star Wars because I personally and most people are familiar enough with the Star Wars series that we know what's going on, and frankly that series isn't the most complicated of series. There's no magic happening that needs to be explained. The actions are pretty obvious. They're gonna blow up the Death Star, basically always. Even in the new one, The Force Unleashed, which I haven't even watched, they seem to just blow up the Death Star again. And it looks like we're close to being done with this level after we accomplish this. Oh, this is under the bridge. So they're blowing up the bridge. That's completely different than what I thought was happening. Completely different. So how do I free this guy? Seems like I probably need dark magic here to free that guy, so I'll ignore this. This guy can dig though. So this was as far as you were supposed to go in the story mode. Going in the other area just got you a bunch of studs. Worth it, but not very helpful. So they're not wearing the uniforms or anything, but they were at Hogwarts when the force fields went up. So they're running into the girls' bathroom to flush themselves down to where the basilisk was.
What?
Yep. They're trying to get the tooth of the basilisk, which destroyed the book. So this is practically just a reimagining of a level we've already seen in years 1 to 4. And it seems kind of silly that they would reuse elements instead of making new elements, but obviously they're being lazy here. What am I dropping in there? Fish? Get a house crest here. So how are we gonna get through this doorway when neither one of them speak Sparkle tongue? There must be some other way. Must be some other way we open this door. Breaking a lot of things. Got some dancing pieces. It's just gonna put the skeleton back together. After I blew you up? No, go away. This is what I was supposed to do. And so she brings out a giant paintbrush, which paints this into a magnetic section. Now if I could just... There we go. Get up here. Get up here. Nothing back here? Looks like that might have been something. Go ahead and hit that. Use the Weasley box. Why would the Weasleys make a box that only works for Weasleys and then fill the entire world with those things? That seems kind of just elitist to the maximum. We're gonna take up people's private land with these magical boxes that are only useful for our own family. That's not really helping society, that's helping your own. So that gets the bats to drop this down, which is fine, but unless something magical happens here, and Ron can speak Parseltongue now. Blue, red, yellow, green. Did they learn Parseltongue in the books? Blue, red. No, I'm gonna hit B. I'm gonna see if maybe she knows Parseltongue too. That would be interesting. Because I thought this was an inherited ability. So she can't do it. But Ron can. Blue, red, yellow, green. See, I don't know if the game is just cheating here so we can open the door, or if Ron actually in this last second somehow discovered he had the ability to speak Parseltongue, which I thought you only got by being related to other people that can speak Parseltongue. So we can see this area it's kind of the same area, it's just at a different angle. Don't want any more dancing skeletons. I've had a lifetime of dancing skeletons at this point. Nobody has a key, so that didn't even matter. Let's pull this chest out and make another pink thing. Again, I have to say, if Hermione didn't have a magic bag in the story, and this is something Lego made up, that too is kind of lazy and kind of sexist. They literally giving her purse. I guess it's sexist either way. Either J.K. Rowling gave her a magical purse, or Lego gave her a magical purse. Either way, it's hard to dance around it. I mean, they're in schools. Backpacks are things that exist. So it wouldn't be crazy for all the Hogwarts students to have magical backpacks that hold things. Hold lots of things. It wouldn't be crazy for all the wizards everywhere to have magical satchels and such that hold things. Make it exclusive to Hermione seems weird. So here's the Basilisk Skeleton, which let's talk about decomposition here. Unless they magically decomposed that basilisk for some reason, or stripped him of all his flesh and skin, or there's some other creatures that were eating off of him. This thing was 5 years ago. This is not 5 years of decomposition. Well, maybe it is. I'm no expert. I don't think you'd be on bleached bones in 5 years. Alright, whatever. Quit making me come over here and get a tooth with these magical pliers. Come on, I'm trying to line it up. It's trying to work. It's trying to work. Oh, this game sucks so much. It's so bad. Even when it's not lagging, it's still got little issues. And then I say the magic word and it lags. Alright, they get the tooth. And with the tooth they try and stab the metal thing. And they're arguing back and forth who's gonna do it. And here Voldemort is just sitting here having tea as they're still fighting back and forth. And they stab it, and Voldemort kills it, and he's got the wand, and with his one shot he destroys the shield. So what was he waiting for? Why didn't he do that before? Not very interesting Lego dynamite pieces either. It looks like magical dynamite. I mean, they could have just made regular Lego dynamite that came together. Slow motion action here. One of the bad guys got in, but maybe they'll just elbow him in the face and yep. Then he won't make it. And these two are making out, which I'm not sure if that came about at this point in the story or earlier. There were hints of it. There were certainly implications that Ron and Hermione might end up together a little bit earlier, but the story really is written and feels like it is pushing you to the thought that it would be Harry and Hermione. I doubt I'm gonna get up to 150,000, but I might at this rate, assuming the game doesn't lag forever. Well, that was 26 minutes, a lot longer than what it was before. That level in particular was long, and the variety in the length of time between each level wildly changes. Some are barely 10 minutes, some are 30 minutes. Why they can't get a handle on this in LEGO games, I do not know. Particularly when you have a linear story like this, you could end it at almost any point. Since they usually have 3 sections per level, they could just have some levels have 1 section if it turns out to be really long, and then the next level has 4 sections because if they're really short, and it really wouldn't hurt anything, particularly if they don't go to these scenes here and tell you that you finished a level. If they simply let you continue playing, and then I had to decide to hit pause every 30 minutes, which is what I do usually when I'm playing other games, is I'll play for 30 minutes, look at the clock and go, let's find a good place to stop, hit pause, and finish the recording like that. But for most players, they could play the whole story mode all the way from beginning to end and never pause. Here, it's very intentionally broken up by levels for no good reason, as far as I can tell. I don't know. Is that a parenting thing? Do parents say you can play one more level and that's it? And then do the parents sit there and watch them to make sure they only play one more level? That's the only thing. Is it for kids? It doesn't make sense. Do kids get bored after a level and want to take breaks? Do they need that? Is that the Nintendo Wii used to do that? It used to say, you've been playing for a while, why don't you go take a break after a few hours? Sometimes they would say that, but I don't think any of the other consoles picked any of that up. Anywho, I feel like I'm starting to ramble here, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.